Welcome to it, sports fans, the MKT Show. I am MKT. Good to be with you. Good to be with you. So I just watched a little bit trying to get into the president's address, but I thought, hey, listen, got to deliver a show. Let's do our thing. So yeah, tonight, by the way, going to talk about Man United. Man United and Chelsea, their striker dilemma, and why I don't think it's a dilemma. Let's just get into it. Let's just do this thing, damn it. You know, Frank Lampard. I mean, come on, guys. I don't know what they're waiting for. So I hope you had a good day. I had a great day. I had a good day. The weather's, hey, if you don't live in South Africa right now, the weather is out of this world. It is out of this world. All right, well, if you're a Man United fan, you had a night last night. Emotional roller coaster. And if you're a Chelsea fan, it is pretty good times. I'm MKT. That's Gareth Cliff, the MKT Show, and it is Cliff Central Sport. Let's get into it. Short, sharp, and sweet. If you're in South Africa, the president, at some stage, I think we'll be talking. I waited, but you know, what are you going to do? All right, let's get into it. So, when I was in my mid-20s, I had a beautiful girlfriend. I had a really, really beautiful, beautiful girlfriend. But the girlfriend had a little bit of a drinking problem. And when I say a little bit, she had a full-on drinking problem. All right. And here's the thing about people with a drinking problem is that when you're at the big show, at the big dance, they're great. Life of the party, everyone's having shots. Everybody wants to be with them, especially if they're beautiful. Like, oh, how are you so beautiful and fun? I mean, that seems like the whole package. All right. So out front, when you're having a party, when you're having a good time, people who get drunk seem great. They seem great. They look amazing. Everyone, their electricity. Here's the problem with having somebody who drinks too much as a partner, though. Internally, they tend to sleep too late, right? Yeah, they sleep late. They're very moody. Day to day, most of life is day to day. They become very moody, anxious. And here's the big problem. They live for Fridays, right? Because Friday's the fun day. That's the big day. Everybody wants to be on the Friday. Everybody lives for the Friday. So that's the problem with having a drunk girlfriend. Oh, let me tell you my real. That's what happened to me. Moody, slept late, wasn't great day-to-day life, doesn't do any shopping, doesn't clean the house. So internally, it's a mess. But the big show, no problem. No problem. Look, Man United losing last night was very similar. It reminded me of my girlfriend. Because when it's the big show, no problem. Right? When it's easy, when everything's easy, when the opposition rolls over, no problem. They've really had no issues. When there's any form of resistance, though, when there's any form of challenge, you got to go to the shops. You got to take the bin out. Drunken girlfriend, she wants to sleep. She wants to nap. Man United last night was so typical. It was so typical because really what they should have done was smash PSG last night. It was so typical. But here's what happens, right? When you get into the deep end of life, and in sport and in business, is everyone's got talent. But then where's the character? And what happened last night, PSG beat them purely because they outsmarted them. Stop crying about the Fred thing. Fred should really have been sent off in the first half. I don't want to get into it. That should have been a red card. But okay, here's what happened is you got outsmarted by a wily old fox team. Right? That PSG team's smart. They played the ref. They really bullied the ref. What Man United did for the 90s and the noughties, they got bullied last night. And, you know, here's the thing about bullies. Man United were flat-track bullies for 15 years because there was no real resistance in England for 15 years. Now they're getting smacked in the mouth, right? Everyone's a bully. Everyone's great. The drunk girlfriend's great at the party, right? Until someone tells her, yeah, you're not that great. And you have to live with her. And bullies are great until they get sucker punched in the mouth. Everyone's great until they get punched in the mouth. And that's what happened to Man United. They were outsmarted. They were bullied last night. And they played the ref. And the Fred situation was comical because that was petulance. But it wasn't just petulance on its own. It was they were goaded into it. Not smart enough. And what that tells you is there's no leadership in the dressing room. When you got great leaders on the field, there's no manager can help you on the field. That was a dressing room problem. Somebody needs to get a hold of Fred, whether it's at a halftime, straight after that red, pull him away and say, listen, it's not about you. Because Fred's head was gone from then. Whether you think it's a red or not, what happened was PSG bullied the ref. They played the ref. It was probably not a second yellow, but they played the ref. That's what you have to do to win at this level. That's what you got to do. Look, I'll tell you what. You don't want to be reactionary in life. Let's take the last 10 games, because I think 10 games is a good way to measure a club. So United are 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. But as I always say, right, is nobody in life is their worst and nobody is their best. But United are 6-4, really, because a draw is a loss for United, right? But they're 6-4. That's 60-40. It's not ideal if you want to be what United claim they are. But nobody in life is their best. Nobody is their worst. So let's take what you really are. So what you always do if you're in sales or in life in general, right? Take out your best year in life. Take out your worst year in life as a person. But let's boil it down more to business and in sport. So 6-4 United. But let's take out the worst and best results, because you're not that. You're what's in the middle. All right, in the last 10, you take out that PSG win, which is probably their best win, and then you take out the Istanbul loss. Let me tell you what's left. It's a 5-2-1 record, right? 5 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw record. It's a loss at home to Arsenal, who can't beat anybody, and it's the worst Arsenal probably in the last 10 years, because they've lost 3 in a row at home, right? And then you drew to Chelsea, who still aren't the complete team. So you lost at home last night to PSG, who are ravaged by injuries. There was no Di Maria last night, and up front they started Moise Kean. Are you kidding me? Marquinhos is at centre-back. It's not working. That's not working. That whole situation at the back is not working. So you lose at home to Arsenal, you lose at home to PSG's second team, and you drew to Chelsea. That's what United are. So you're a 5-3 team. So last night was perfectly predictable, because that's what United are. They have a leadership problem. I don't know what more to say to you. United fans shouldn't be upset about last night, because that's what you are. And if you think Anthony Martial, right, should rescue you, well, that's what you get. Because Martial, it's clear now. The playbook is out on him. He's flaky. He's emotional. He rides the crest of the wave. If you're going to rely on Anthony Martial as your goals, you have a problem. And I've said this before. In leadership, I don't want people that get emotional, right? I want never ride the crest of the wave. If you want to be leadership, for me to respect you, don't get emotional. That's everyone else's problem. Emotions are lower and middle management's problem, right? I don't want my leaders getting emotional. Roy Keane was Roy Keane 24/7. Anthony Martial, I don't know what I'm getting. That's why he can't be your number 9. He can't carry Man United. Wayne Rooney at his best, at his absolute best, 4 or 5 years, you knew what you were getting with Rooney. Pace, power, strength, leadership, and we're not going to tolerate losing at this football club. With Martial, I'm getting soppy. I'm getting emotional. I'm getting great ability. I'm getting he disappears. I'm getting people headbutting, and then I get last night. That's not leadership. Because leadership cannot ride the crest of the wave. We need to look to you in the hard times. Well, that's what happens. And by the way, if you think Cavani's performance against Southampton is what you're going to get every week, 3 times a week, because that's what they play now, you're dreaming. Last night was what Man United are, by the way. That is what you are. No leadership and inconsistent. I'm afraid you can't get into the top 4 with that. And if you think you're going to win the league, stop telling me, we're at what are United? 2 points of the top 4, 3 points of the top 4. Forget about the top 4. Just forget about it. Stop comparing yourself and the Ollie to Lampard thing. It is over. Last night let you know, right, is when things get tough. We have to lean on Anthony Martial. Listen, I had a girlfriend with drinking problems. You don't want to lean on flashy people. And she was beautiful. My girlfriend was beautiful, but she had drinking problems. So when you go out and it's the big occasion, yes, she pitches up. But when you need someone to go shopping, mop the floor, not so much. Because she's all about the show. Man United are all about the show. Give me the big games, and it's the easy stuff. When the lights are on, when it's easy, we can go and roll whoever. But when PSG test us in the second half and they outsmart us and we need some leadership, no way. And that's not United just last night, by the way. That's been United the whole season. Because Crystal Palace, I watched it. I was texting with a good friend of mine last night, and I said, if you guys lose this game, that means you're out of the Champions League, because I think Leipzig have got it together and they're going to beat you guys. And he said, clearly I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I've seen, and then I said, oh, well, I'm seeing you guys. I think Man United were 1-0 up at that stage. But I saw Crystal Palace. By the way, I saw the first half of Southampton. Championship teams don't have that. You cannot ride the wave. You cannot be a 10 or a 1. What you ideally want to be is you want to be a 7 all the time. That's how you win titles. That's how you get in the top 4. And that's how you get my respect. It was typical last night. So Man United fans, accept it now. 6th to 8th. Last year was an anomaly. You're not a championship team. Accept it. It's okay. But I'm sorry, I'm out on this Cavani's changed the game and Martial when he comes back. How long have I heard that? 6 years now of Martial is going to develop. He's 24 years old. He's 24 years old. I'm not going to bang on poor Pogba, right? It's enough. By the way, Oli got the tactics wrong. You can't play 6 at the back. You just can't. Like, that's not going to work against PSG. Right? He tried it. It worked against Chelsea, where he played 5 at the back, and then he protected the back 4 with McTominay and Fred. Stop. You got to play football. Like PSG, the problem is with Oli's formation is if you're 2-0 up, that works. When you're 1-0, 1-1, and then, Neymar decides, I actually want to play today. Because he's also just he's a mess, right? You can't rely on Neymar. But when he wants to play, he's unplayable. And then they'll score. PSG could score 5 in a half, and nobody should be shocked. Because when Mbappe and Neymar pitch up, what do you do then? When you get sucker punched in the mouth, when you get outsmarted, because that's what they did last night. It was so wily and it was foxy. It was like United in the 90s, wasn't it? You remember United? They used to bully the ref. Fergie would come up and do one of those, and you knew, that's over. Howard Webb's going to let this thing play till next week, till United score. So I don't know what to do about, and I have lots of Man United friends, right? But I don't ride the crest of the wave. I've been watching football for 30 years. I know what championship looks like. And by the way, that doesn't even look like top 4. And there's no excuses that you were nicely rested. Everyone was there. You had Fred and McTominay, so you had legs in midfield. But I'm afraid, look, if you're a United fan, you got to swallow one pill. One of Van der Beek, right, or Pogba has to play. You can't have last night and tell me you're a top 4 team. That was PSG's second team. And you're playing 5, so what, 6 at the back? Get out of here. And by the way, let's finish off on this. Everyone who told me Tellez was better than Chilwell, sit down. Because that's what happens when you have to play 3 times a week, right? I'm not interested in how you once every now and then, and you're playing against Crystal Palace, how you look. How do you look 3 times a week, PSG, and now this weekend ain't going to be easy. West Ham, boy, oh boy, lose that. Yeah, and then that's going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. All right, let's move to this. The Chelsea situation. We'll finish off with this. Take one comment quickly. Cameron in the booth. Nah, his name's just Cameron Booth, but I like saying that. Cameron Booth says, 100% agree with you, and I'm a Man United supporter, sadly. Listen, Cameron, I'm not on the bandwagon. I'm not an ABU, right? I just watch football. I'm like, oh, I know what that looks like. And the thing is, as fans, we ride the crest of the wave, but last night was sadly, that's what United is. And there's a great saying, right? Water always finds its level. Well, that's what you are. Because you can't go against Istanbul and go beat Istanbul and come back, an impossible comeback against Southampton and say, oh, that's what we are now. No, right? What are you 7 out of 10 games? And I've just shown you. Right? Because take out your best year, take out your worst year. Go and do an exercise for yourself in life if you're trying to save money, or in business if you're in sales. Go and take out your best year, that you've ever had in sales. Go and take out your best year that you've ever had in sales. Take those two out, and everything that's left on the table, that's what you are. Go and average everything else out. And I'm sorry, I've given you the last 10 games for United. Last night is what they are. Sorry. And I'm not an ABU. But I'm sick and tired of hearing Ollie's the next savior and United are back. Stop. Listen, you make top 7, you've done well. Because there's a lot of teams that are coming this season. The league's taking shape. All right, if you're a Chelsea fan, I've been saying this, if you've been watching the show, I don't understand. I just don't. Somebody needs to help me understand why Tammy Abraham is starting ahead of Giroud. And it's not just the 4 goals, by the way. I don't want anyone saying, oh, you watched last night and you're saying Giroud should start. I've been saying since the beginning of the season, start Giroud. Everything you want, especially in a one-man up-front formation, everything you want, Giroud's better, right? The movement, the hold-up play, and most crucially, the finishing. He's better than Tammy Abraham and everything. I'm not saying Tammy Abraham's a bad player. What I'm saying is Tammy Abraham's still a developing player. And here's the thing, right? If you're in the first team, I don't want to hear he's young. I hate it when people say, oh, he's young, let him develop. No. If you're in the first team, deliver or we will critique you, right? Development is for under 23, under 21. If you're a big boy, right? Because only big boys get to play in the big team. In life as well. Sorry, this is my take. I don't ever want to hear somebody I work with say, oh, but he's young. I don't want to hear it. Right? If you're at work, deliver. Now, once you're in the ecosystem, be willing to take the criticism. So I'm not saying get rid of Tammy Abraham, right? Although if you can get Haaland, do that. I'm not saying get rid of Tammy Abraham, but all of the criticism, right, must apply to Tammy Abraham. Don't be soft on him just because he's a Chelsea guy. And what we've been seeing this season is not good enough. And stop getting excited about him finishing 1 or 2 chances every 6 games. Stop it. Because there's more to football than that. Right? Is what's happening to Werner's performances. Ziyech, they need Giroud because Tammy Abraham hasn't got that man body and can't hold the ball up. I'm sorry. Last night was evidence of everything. And you're not losing anything on the sharp end with Olivier Giroud. Most importantly, Chelsea's attack comes from the wing. I don't know why Tammy Abraham can't jump and head the ball. But you saw it in the United game. He missed 2 gilt-edged headers, and then he missed another chance where he was flipping and flopping all over the place and spinning. I don't know why. Giroud's got that man body. Once he's in, no defender's moving him. And I'd say one of every 3 headers hitting the target. That's the goalkeeper's problem. Tammy Abraham is everywhere. His movement is awful. By the way, a lot of people think, just being big is enough to be in the box and it's luck. There is no luck. It is movement. Once you sense what the wide man's going to do, and again, the movement was brilliant for the first goal with Giroud for Havertz's goal. He opened up a little yard for himself. And then also, remember, when you're moving, is you get your head up to tell you, I'm ready to get the ball. Abraham's movement is awful because what he does, by the way, and I guess this is boring if you're onto the technical side of football, is last night, go and watch the Chelsea's first goal. Giroud is running with an open body. So what that means is he's facing, right? He's facing play and he doesn't have his back turned to the passer. So if you look at a lot of Tammy Abraham's movement, although he's got more pace and the movement itself, the physical movement might be great, but the technical side of the movement is so deficient. And I watch it closely. I'm a nightmare to watch football with. This is why I watch football by myself. So what you have to do, right? Number 1, open your body. So that means, right, you are square to play. You are facing the defender chest on. What that means is you can see the guy passing the ball to you, but also you can see the line for offside, right? What that means is I'm also looking at the defender. Now I'm controlling the defender. If your back and your running is, I'm running blind, is your back is to the passer, right? Obviously, you'll have the run on the defender, but then you never know if you're offside, and then you never know when the ball's going to be delivered. So Tammy Abraham, right, never gets the ball in the box because he's never looking at the ball. He's only worried about what he's doing. So that's number 1. That's the number 1 criticism. But then the movement off the ball is also, it needs to be, you got to have a bit of tenacity. For the headers, I'm sorry. If you want to see the classic forward play, so forget Giroud last night, because that was unbelievable number 9 play. The best example I've seen of it this season Cavani's goal against Southampton to win it. Tammy Abraham doesn't have that. Now, that comes with time. And Giroud is all over it. You don't need pace for that. Listen, you're never going to see an Abraham goal like that. You don't need pace for that, because once you beat the defender on the angle, you give him the run, and your movement's great. You get what Cavani did. If you're a United fan, you must have loved that. As they say in the UK, sweet as a nut. Abraham doesn't have that. And Giroud's got all of that. Now, Abraham's got the pace, but the pace is useless. You don't need it, because you got Werner, you got Ziyech, you got Mount. They're all doing all sorts of things. And then you got Chilwell and you got Reece James, who are delivering magic. But Tammy Abraham, it's all a waste. So I'm sorry, as a Chelsea fan, it's over now. For the rest of the season, I want Giroud in the big games. He gives you everything. Hold up play, first touch, and he brings people into the game, and then the finishing is sublime. Both on the feet, by the way, and then the heading. Your weapons are from out wide. Stop it, Lampard. Let's just get this thing right, please. Let's get this thing right. Hey, tomorrow, I'd love to know what Chelsea fans think. Hit us up. sport@cliffcentral.com. Otherwise, we are Cliff Central Sport on all social media platforms. I am MKT. That's Mike Kilo Tango. For those of you that speak the NATO alphabet, Mike Kilo Tango. MKT Inspires on all social media platforms. Hit me up. What do you want to hear about? We'll talk a little bit. Cricket's coming back. I had a DM. When are you going to talk some cricket? Hey, I told you, I don't talk T20. Proteas lost to England. It doesn't look like I care. T20 is pajama cricket. I'll talk more ODI. Once the ODI stuff starts, I'll watch a little bit of that. Been watching a little bit of India, Australia. That's been fun. But Test cricket's coming back. We'll talk a little bit of Test cricket come December. By the way, we are working right through. So even on the Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, those in that period, we are here right through until the new year. So like, share, subscribe. We will be with you throughout. So before you go, click that one. Cliff Central Sport on all social media platforms. MKT Inspires on all social media platforms. And we are Cliff C Sport on the tweet machine. All right. Click like if you liked it. If you didn't, this didn't even happen. If you're South African, good luck with whatever the president has to say. I hope you can all live through it. For tonight, though, you could have been anywhere with anybody. You chose to be with us. We're grateful. MKT, Gareth Cliff, Cliff Central Sport. This is the MKT Show. And for now, we are the hell out of here.